Good morning, guys. Sorry that I can't be here today, but I wanted to give you a little pep talk before you went to the lab and started working on your draft for The Good Thief. Just remember, this is a draft, and I'm just expecting you to do the best you can. I know that this is a challenging assignment, but I know that you can also be successful with it. The handouts that I'm going to be going over with you are handouts that you have in your folder, but I also want you to realize that I put a copy of this extended explanation of the research-based essay on my teacher page so that you can access it to save time today. Now, last class, most of you only were able to get to the point where you had a good thesis statement, and if you're at that point, that's okay. I want to talk a little bit about where I want you to go from here today. And if you have the research-based essay assignment, you're going to go to the section that says the structure. Now listen, you need to have a title that is the thesis question. And we are going to be working on an introduction that ends with a thesis statement, but I don't want you to worry about that for today. For today, all I want you to worry about is making sure that you have your thesis statement. From there, you're going to work on 3 body paragraphs today. The first body paragraph establishes where Wren is at the beginning of the novel. Morally, where is he at, and how would Lawrence Kohlberg define what stage of moral development Wren is at? Now, most of you think Wren changed morally. So your second body paragraph is going to be a paragraph in which you explain that there's some sort of turning point. Something happens where Wren starts thinking a little bit differently about right and wrong. The very last paragraph is going to be Wren at the end of the novel. Where does he end up ending up morally? Now, for those of you who do not think that Wren changed, this middle paragraph is going to be about when Wren is faced with some sort of moral dilemma midway through the novel and how he reacts to it and how it shows in your mind that he didn't really change from when he reacted towards moral issues at the beginning of the novel. I really don't think you're going to get to your conclusion today, but if you do, use what you know about writing good conclusions to write one. There is a little bit of a change in our schedule. So what's going to happen next Wednesday is that I will be back. I'm going to talk to you a little about the introduction, the conclusion, and help you a little bit. Your draft isn't going to be due on Wednesday. Your draft is going to be due on Friday. So you have today and you have Wednesday. Don't forget, Mr. Carteret is going to be coming in to talk to you a little bit today. Now, I wanted to give you even more assistance. So this is something you'll find on my teacher page, but what I have done is I have come up with a sample outline for your paper that gives a little bit more information. Do you remember how I had this sample thesis statement last class? Let's pretend that I'm writing this paper, okay? In The Good Thief by Hannah Tinty, Wren begins his life beyond the orphanage with a morally selfish attitude, and until he is faced with opportunities to assist the characters Dolly and Mrs. Sands, and advances morally to become more considerate of others. Now, every single one of my topic sentences for my 3 body paragraphs is going to repeat a key idea from the thesis. So my first body paragraph, I'm going to explain where Wren is morally at the beginning of the novel. My topic sentence might sound something like this. As Wren leaves the orphanage at the beginning of the novel, he tends to only consider himself as he makes moral decisions. You can see this is a draft for me too, and there are a couple typos that I'll fix in my final version. Then what I need to do is follow that process that I explained last class where you bring in textual evidence by starting with the context, a lead-in, the actual quoted material from the book, parentheses that says Tinty and the page number where you found it, and your analysis. In your analysis, you're going to explain Wren's thinking, and you're going to establish what Lawrence Kohlberg would have said and where he would have placed Wren. Don't worry about getting this perfect. You just do the best you can. I want several pieces of evidence. My second body paragraph is about the turning point. And Okay, guys, in that little break there, I realized that I hadn't changed my topic sentences. The middle paragraph is the turning point paragraph, and perhaps my topic sentence would say something like, as Ren is faced with helping Dolly and Mrs. Sands, Ren begins to consider the feelings of others. And I would talk in that about how he's starting to change and recognize that other people are important too. Now, this is just for example. And obviously, you guys are going to do a really thorough, close reading and come up with your own ideas. But let's imagine that my final body paragraph, the topic sentence, might sound something like this. Ren's experiences helping others cause him to mature dramatically in his moral thinking by the end of the novel when he risks his own safety for others. Now remember, all three of your topic sentences basically add up. It's sort of like math. They add up to fully explain the thesis statement. Okay? Which is going to have something about the beginning, middle, and end of the novel. Well, I know you guys are going to do the best job you can. Please listen to Mr. Carteret. He's going to explain to you how to make a works cited page for this paper. I will see you on Wednesday. We'll talk about introductions, conclusions, and I hopefully will be able to give you lots of help. And the paper will be due Friday morning. You might want to work a little bit on it on your own. Have a great weekend. Actually, it's not really a weekend, but have a nice day off, and I will see you Wednesday.